Campers, it's me, Ari Lehman, the first Jason Voorhees. From Friday the 13th, I'm here with AJ, and he's got the juiciest slice ready for you. It's dripping with blood. Jason never dies.
What makes a horror film kill memorable, terrific, even in some way profound or poignant? Let's explore. Thanks for checking this out. If anything about it trips your fancy, please like, subscribe, and share.
Crazy.
Yes.
Without further ado...
You must look. Fortune teller.
The carnival is in town, and there's electricity, smoke, and other funny, sweet smells commingling on the air like orgy participants getting particularly frisky and funky.
It is a very serious business for Madame Zena. Don't be concerned, the aspects are quite wonderful for tonight.
A quartet of not the brightest young people, Demure Amy, Alpha Buzz, Hot Girl Liz, and Instigator Richie, want to take in all the sights.
Don't come back or I'll break every bone in your fucking bodies.
And I mean all the sights.
What's happening?
You're not gonna like it.
My suggestion?
I just had the greatest idea. Let's stay. Let's spend the night. In the Funhouse.
If ever presented such a proposition in such a way, turn tail and run, because it's never smart to volunteer to do something stupid.
Whatever you say. Scared cat.
On what amounts to a dumb dare.
Fred and Eddie did it 2 years ago in Fairfield County.
Right, and you believe them. You know, but you're so bullshit.
I'm telling you, they did it. And so can we.
Of course they decide to stow away in the lockdown funhouse for the night. At best they have dubious reasons for doing this.
Did you hear that?
Through a grate, the foursome soon eavesdrops on far more than they bargained for when they get a very private show. Since desperation exists everywhere, Madame Zena moonlights as a hoochie-coochie girl.
Oh, you're a smart boy, just like your father.
And to barter some flesh meets one of the funhouse operators in the attraction's office.
Not enough.
This fella, Gunther, is someone she otherwise treats like a half-wit.
More. Nothing in life comes cheap, my friend.
Yet he'll ante up whatever it takes.
Strike a hard bargain. Okay.
To obtain what he seeks, but quickly proves much in need of patience and instruction.
But what are you standing around for? I haven't got all night.
To Madame Zena's frustration.
You want to take off the mask?
There's good reason to keep the mask on.
Damn!
Lie down! What are you standing there like an idiot for?
Tired of tooting his own horn, apparently,
Nothing to be afraid of.
Gunther wants someone else to fiddle with his instrument.
Oh, I see you're not afraid. An eager young fella you are, huh?
But the way Madame Zena toots that horn leads to a hastily composed crescendo.
Relax. Just relax. Oh, too late, huh?
And it's the kind of performance that will lead to no encore or bows.
Nothing to be ashamed of. It happens to the best of us.
Well, that's not exactly true. At show's end, at least one participant is bowing. Or is that bowing?
Felt good, huh? Well, of course it felt good.
This premature happening gives the disenchanted Gunther an overweening bow to the buyer's remorse. And he wants his money returned post-haste.
I know what you're thinking. You want the money back. Too late, my friend. A bargain is a bargain.
Madame Zena's adamant she won't accommodate this rather unreasonable request.
It's not my fault if you can't control yourself.
Rightfully holding on to her illicitly gotten gains. After all, a service was rendered. You pay the agreed-upon fee whether the mechanic takes a minute or an hour to fix your vehicle. Them are the breaks. Gunther, experiencing the kind of post-nut clarity that makes a man rue all his baser urges, feels like a real sucker and won't take her disregard for his discontent kindly.
Leave me alone. I'm going to tell your father. You actually think I would let you do it to me, you freak?
No matter her argument, Gunther feels fleeced for the less than salacious blink-and-you'll-miss-it sexual activity.
Be thankful for small favors. Leave me alone or I'll put a curse on you and your whole lot.
And responds, I'll say unconstructively. It seems as if all his angst and rage and other feelings of emasculation manifest into another climax. A far more dazzling and explosive one than the 3-second orgasm that triggered all this. Electrifying. In the wake of witnessing murder, the quartet tries to escape, and while Richie uses a pretense,
I'm just gonna make sure she's dead.
to swipe the money in the cash box, the others discover escape won't be so easy.
Shit. It's locked.
Soon thereafter, Gunther involves his father,
Father. Don't you ever call me then.
or a keeper or whatever he is. The Funhouse barker, or talker, Conrad Straker, who's none too pleased over how events have played out.
Sweet Jesus. You didn't tell me it was Zena the goddamn fortune teller. You really did it this time, didn't you? You killed one of the family.
The enraged Carney lets a lot slip,
Didn't I tell you? I don't care what you do with that dirty business with them locals. But I don't want you doing nothing with our kind. You understand me? Damn you.
that informs us and the quartet that, of all the dangers concealed under the shiny, sparkly, and dazzling veneer of the carnival,
We'll dump her someplace. And then we'll blame it on the goddamn locals.
the Funhouse likely contains the most dangerous.
You paid her $100? Jesus. I could have got you one of them 10 girls for 15.
And makes what for any greedy businessman is an especially aggravating discovery.
Alright, where is it? What'd you do with the rest of my money?
Of course, blame falls to Gunther like a brick tossed off an overpass, causing chaos.
Maybe I'm just gonna have to help you, remember? I'll make you talk.
The accusation really riles the ruinous man. Until it comes to pass that we learn why it was definitely more for Madame Zena's sake, and maybe ours, I know that's one O-face I never want to see, that he kept that nifty Frankenstein monster mask on. The stupidity ongoing, Conrad gets clued into a more lucrative direction to vent his anger.
She take it! She don't wanna take it! Tell me where it is! Who's there?
And soon thereafter the hunt is on.
It ain't as if I'm asking you to do something you ain't never done before. Come on, boy. I didn't mean to hurt you.
When not all hopped up on wild sex hormones, Gunther, a nuanced monster, evidently doesn't so much see this sulk.
Oh, Lord.
What sets some exits apart and makes them extraordinary can be their power as a springboard that thrusts the plot toward an inescapable climax, or their insight into the darker extremities of human nature, or all the underlying perversity they display like stillborn freak specimens lined up in glass canisters.
I'm getting some air.
They can be a flashy spectacle, an unforgettable sight to behold, or exhibitions of excess.
That is, if we wanted to.
Some can even expose the obnoxious obstinacy of the entitled, and how unwillingness to walk away from a disagreement to sort it out under better conditions can be a death sentence.
You never did understand the value of a dollar, did you?
Something that is teetering very close to the edge of disgusting, the sordid setup raises many inquiries about the moral spine of this particular carny community.
God damn you!
Each carnival comprises a family of sorts, so whether by blood or proximity, Madame Zena and Gunther are relatives of sorts, so their bizarre rendezvous takes on other more disturbing dimensions because it can be viewed as incestuous, something akin to a weird aunt attempting to make her socially awkward nephew a man, in exchange for an inflated fee because he's too naive to know better, and she's a lowlife.
Well, we can certainly say you're not afraid to be reductive.
That's a crack specifically against Madame Zena and not carny folk in general. She's the tricky parlor psychic who swindles the locals and Gunther alike, and swindlers court whatever fate befalls them. Victim blaming is uncool and uncalled for. Mostly. Because I would say Madame Zena should have, for her own well-being, found the capacity to be a little more understanding in the moment.
I have performed in front of Godheads of Europe!
And navigated away from what from Gunther was going to be a disproportionate retaliation. Not everyone's anger is tangible. Gunther's is. And it's a force better avoided than confronted. There's a reason people board up and flee before a hurricane.
Let's just get the hell out of here.
The pitiful cretin answers to someone else, so maybe give back the money and speak to his boss man to make things even.
Should have wrung your ugly neck the day you was born and been done with.
Madame Zena could have implored Conrad to intervene and mediate, since he would likely take her word for purposes of keeping the peace, and then made sure Gunther kept his distance from her in the future. Challenging him directly was ill-advised, and the timing was cruddy. Calling in reinforcements would have saved her life, but hubris did her in. The problem is she's an unscrupulous, shrewish, unkind, combative, conniving woman, who in some way got her just desserts because she couldn't recognize the vulnerability of her position. It's never a good idea to mock the big deformed guy with a short fuse.
You know what they would have done to you in Dallas if I hadn't been there, don't you? Yeah. Them 2 little half-pint Girl Scouts in Memphis.
And making fun of his manhood's effectuality is the kind of salting of open wounds that can lead to a homicidal break, even for guys who aren't the result of, let's just say, only swimming in the family gene pool.
Sure. That's the way.
A beastly brute already beating himself up because of his unmanly performance isn't someone worth confronting in the moment. Madame Zena believes her superiority and attitude will overcome. She's wrong.
Out of here, you bad brat!
And it not only got her killed, but 3 mostly innocent young people, and probably the carnival itself, because after such a macabre event, it would likely go defunct, the various pieces sold off, the funhouse itself disassembled and scrapped, because beyond morbid curiosity, who would want to see, let alone ride, such a monument to murder and depravity?
Yep, that stands up to scrutiny.
Bearing witness to the whole humiliating interlude might be even worse. Freak or otherwise, a lot of dudes have trouble with their shortcomings being aired publicly. Even though he showed some reluctance, some part of Gunther must have wanted to silence the meddling young people.
I told you, he's full of shit.
The quartet took in the carnival with voyeuristic glee. They were so dazzled with the flash and taken in by all the illusions, they saw only what the bright, welcoming neon sign promised, and not the seedy underbelly that is the mechanism that actually runs the show, until it's too late to undo their mistake. As for Gunther, he probably should have just
Beat it!
since things don't end so well for him either. An extravagant exit I may someday cover.
I'm excited.
You just relax.
One last thing before I go.
Well, I'm sincerely glad to hear that, for all our sakes.
Rather than do another episode about the biggest dumbass of all, Richie, I'll wrap up his narrative here by pointing out he was the one who pulled him and his friends in, swiped the cha-ching, and then revealing their presence, forgot he had a lighter in his shirt pocket.
Finders keepers, losers weepers.
Strangely, there was a time in the not-too-distant past when his crimes would have warranted exactly what he got. The way he's strung up like that suggests the carnival still has a foot in that time, which was that of the Old West, when crimes that would be seen as rather minor today got many hung. What a difference a century makes.
Hit the brakes, Bill, Dee Dee. You had your shot, you blew it.
I've about reached the end of the rope, so I won't keep you dangling. Thanks for listening to my ramblings. Please share any refutations, opinions, accusations, japes, or other ideas in the comments below. And please check out whatever I'm up to next time. Bye now.
Bye, creepy man. Keep it creepy.
He's a weird guy.